Hello everyone, welcome to the LARP Tales podcast, the award-winning LARP podcast where we tell our tales of live-action roleplay. My name is Oliver, I'm one half of your hosting duo. With me, as always, is my co-host Robyn. Hello Robyn.
Hello Oliver.
And today we are continuing our recap of Empire LRP E3. If you haven't checked out part 1 yet, it's up there somewhere, go check it out. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you're new to the Two Haven't Roll universe. Make sure that you like the video and comment down below. If you're listening on an audio platform, leave us the stars. And yeah, just there's lots of different ways to support us, including a referral code for Empire LARP. If you're interested in coming to Empire LARP, we have one more event this year, but next year there is a brand new site for Empire LARP. The company has bought land that they own now, so we're going to have a tailor-made LARP site for Empire LARP next year. Very exciting stuff. If you want to come, try it out, and if you want to help us out, use that referral code. It's in the show notes and the description of the video. And with all that out of the way, let's get into our continuation of our recap of Empire LRP E3. Okay, so last we left off, I became a general again.
Yeah.
And it's all going great.
Yeah.
Just all going great.
It's all brilliant.
It's all great. We did military council. We talked about monstering. And then we're Saturday morning. So, well, at this point, it's like Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon, lunchtime sort of thing. Yeah, so yeah.
Back to military council, debrief stuff. And then we got like tournaments and bits and pieces.
There was a lot going on aimed on this event. It was a weird one because we did manage to catch like most things, but little bits of everything. Mainly because we were back and forward to military council, but we did quite well at making sure we were able to catch different things that were happening.
Yeah.
So to start off with, we were fighting in the Night Protector of Summer tourney.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We had to make it a fight because, the candidate, you know what's really good about this year?
Yeah.
The same guy didn't get it. Like, because that's like, honestly, I was like, if the same person gets it again, like, I'm going to go online and just like, start, it was just refreshing to see someone new get it for a change, you know?
There you go, everyone. Same person didn't get it.
Same person didn't get it. I'm joking. It's a joke. So Cass, who came on to the podcast probably like a year ago.
Yeah, it probably is about a year.
Yeah. Well, it probably would have been because we talked about this very thing.
Yeah, because it was after their second.
Yeah, they won it for the second time, and I think that there was like someone on like commented on their like TikTok
on their own TikTok
saying, "Oh, it's a shame the same person won it again." But it was funny, good fun. But the candidate managed to like get so much support. It was a bit like you at the Night Protector last year, where there wasn't anyone really running against them, which I was surprised with. Summer's usually really hotly contested as well.
There was people standing against, but
oh yeah, sorry, I didn't want to like diminish anyone else's like.
No. I know what you mean though, because but the particular candidate did have a huge amount of support.
Yeah.
So it was that way. We were all like standing there, we're looking around, we're like, this doesn't seem like a big enough fight. So half of the people supporting the candidate one moved over, just to make it a bit more. And you moved over. I stayed because I wanted to fight you.
Yeah. yeah. So I think we were all fighting for like Zoran. I think Zoran went, "Oh, I'll take a job," but like I don't think he was. I think he was just like doing it for like, "Oh, cool, I'll just run," you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really like it was a. Yeah, it was more of a just a, you know, let's have a good scrap. Basically, especially if I'm not massively invested, I don't know whether they've just changed because they keep changing things up in these tournaments, right? So usually like weapons get shattered instantly, and you can have like but you're not allowed to take weapons from outside the square. So we've been leaving weapons inside the square. A lot of the weapons disappeared though this time.
Oh, right. If anyone knows what happened, seriously.
I'm pretty sure the refs were moving. I'm sure they were.
It might need to find out about it, because normally
I don't think
a
they
lot
should.
of us like leave our weapons in like a pile in like the corner sort of thing. But yeah, we all came back, sword got shattered, came over, and all the weapons weren't there. Yeah. But all around the square, people were handing weapons from the outside in. I was like,
well, yeah, that's not
not the rules. Unless there's been a ruling of please don't leave things lying on the floor.
We'll talk in autumn. I'll talk to the refs when they come around and just double check.
The Agagor will know. Yeah, we'll talk to Agagors and the refs and everything next time and find out what was happening there.
But basically, I was just like, I had my sword. I got it. The thing is, because everyone gets an idea of who has what, so they're just like, well, like Damon has a woodcutter's axe, shatter instantly. I'm like, oh well. And then I walked over to where I left the other sword and where I knew that there was some swords, and I was just like, oh, there's no swords, and I was just like, like John Travolta meme. I was just like, oh well, and I just walked out. I was just like, I can't do anything. I can't fight with my bare hands, so guess I'll leave.
Yeah, I kind of like so fight early on. I'm just happy. I just hit all my mates. Got Zoran, got Martin, and got all my mates. It's great fun. And then I think Zoran shattered my sword. And that's how I was like, for goodness sake. And I went over to the corner.
I hope that's what you actually said. For goodness sake.
For goodness sake, Zoran.
Goodness sake.
Yes, I was like, I went over to the corner to where I'd left my swords. So I was like, where are all the swords? And I saw they'd all just been like moved like under the rope, and they were literally sitting under the rope. I was like, what's going on? And somebody outside just kind of moved them back, and I was like, I'm just going to take them, whatever. I'll go, and nobody seems to really care. No. I'm just here for fun.
So it's you that's cheating.
Me that cheated. I'm sorry.
You literally just said people were taking them from outside, and then you've just said, yeah, I totally did that too.
I did that too. Yeah. I mean, I did leave them there.
You're not cheating. You're not trying, right?
So I went back to Ambi for a bit. I've not fought Ambi in a little while. That was fun.
Do you have Ambi?
Yeah.
Why do you have Ambi?
For when my sword gets shattered.
Okay.
Obvious. That's why I have cleave.
Yeah, but you could get use your experience points. You could have like another hero point or something.
No, Ambi.
Just use one weapon that does one thing and hero point up.
Okay, you do you.
Okay.
So I got to go fight Ambi for a little bit. It was good fun. The person I was supporting won. Made it to the end. Got a few really good scraps in there. It was really fun actually. And then
I didn't see the end because guess where I was?
Military council. Yeah,
because it happens during MC, so I'm just like, I'll go in, I'll fight, and I was like, she sells seashells by the seashore, and my sword was shattered. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the military council and then just sit down and vote on some things. Just look like I know what's happening.
Yeah,
that's what I do. But yeah, I mean, before I start going on about this, was there anything else cool that happened between the Night Protector and the Glory Gala?
So the other thing that was happening, I only got to see like a snippet of this, but there was the red and black tourney was on. Now, red and black tourney is a tourney that is essentially groups from every single nation with a red and black color code.
It's the best color combination. That's why.
It was, I didn't see it all, but they really went all out. So last year it was Wintermark that won. So Wintermark were hosting it this year, but using the Glory Square to host it in.
When I'm Wintermark.
So we brought everyone there. It was, you couldn't get up to the square. It was like so busy. I think they had an owl bear at one point got walked up.
Yeah. What was the owl bear going
It was to do with the tourney. It was to do with one of the spectacles in the tourney. Oh yeah, they'd organised so much. And I was like walking up because I think one of the generals needed to speak to you. And we were looking for you, and it was like a break or something. No, I think you weren't there for a second. You must have gone to pee. And I was like, oh, maybe he's gone back to camp. And I walked this person up, and I was like, it's not normally this busy, but we are on the square, so we're going to have to walk through this. Yeah. And we're walking. I was like, is that an owl bear? Okay. Anyway,
what are they called in this world? They're not called owl bears. They call something different. They're basically owl bears.
It's an owl bear. So that looked amazing. Dawn won this time. So yeah, Orzell won.
Awesome.
So basically it was all, now I might be wrong here, but I think it was all in honor of a fallen character from House Orzell. It was all in honor of
Was it Osric again?
Yeah.
I know. They have a sword, don't they? They have, like,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It's a sword. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah, that's
sure
right.
it's the
Yeah,
same
so-
one.
yeah, no.
The sword.
I remember.
Exactly. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. So it's a sword, and the sword is magical, it's special, and all the rest of it. And the team that went in for Dawn, they had quite a young person there with them. He was a young teenager, and was apparently an absolute badass fighter. And at the end, they have to pick someone to present the sword to, and apparently all the LARPers around just went him. And so we got to have this really cool moment of getting the sword presented, which I'm just like, that's how incredible is that?
Yeah,
Especially
that's
as like a young LARPer
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, I remember now
Like,
because I remember being told the story like later on that evening.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, and then there was all the wonderful debating in military council, which lasted a very long time.
So
and then
yeah, so for me, again, that's why I was like, what did you guys get up to? Because so for me, it was literally from then, and then I had about 6 to 8 hours of just talking through what I was going to be doing with my army.
yeah.
I won't bore people with it, but it was it was a lot. It was a lot of like backwards and forths and talking to people. I had lots of people kind of pleading their case to me. A lot of people asking for my opinion. I spoke to. I probably should have spoken to more priests, but I ended up speaking. I feel like I spoke to everybody, which was like I'm talking as if like I didn't have a good time. I had a really good time, right? To the point where, so again, it was literally from about like 2:30 or something, 3, because I remember I ran out. We did like the senator elections and that. But it was about from there until the Glory Gala was like halfway through. To the point where I was like, no, I'll be finished by the Glory Gala. So this included things like the field marshal briefing for the next day, and included, what Dawn was going to do, and what, all that was encompassed in this. But ultimately, I was like in around that tent, and then talking about it, and then I was literally discussing this with people, and I got to the point. I'm just like, I'm going to go dance with my wife, because you were literally you kept coming down and being like, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet?" I'm just like,
I literally, because I kind of came down. I was like, "We are dancing at this, okay? We have missed it every year.
Yeah,
we're doing this.
Yeah."
And in that time, I went back, got changed, turned my dress into an anvil length dress because it was too long. Got all ready, changed my jewelry, came back down. You were sitting there, and I was like, looked at you, and you went, "Yeah." It's the way you turned around to all the other generals, went, "I'm going to dance with my wife now."
Yeah.
And we left, and I thought that was so badass. What was funnier is they pretty much moved military council up to next to the square.
And it continued. Like it was another hour or 2 of conversations of like, of what I'm going to be doing and our tactics. So like we went over, basically the tactic was like, it was one of those, like the numbers needed to be like right. And it was, I'm not gonna because this is completely a field thing, so I'm not gonna like put forward on here why I made the decision I did. But what was really cool is in that moment, so we had the dance. In fact, so let's talk about the dance, shall we?
Yeah.
Right. So we had the dance. Again, I said in the last episode, the Glory Gala is becoming more of a solid kind of thing. I think the first year it was just like, oh, we're just having a big party in the Glory Square, and it became like there was a bit of music. But like this year, we had Silgor and the Bardstads, who were just they're always amazing.
They were incredible. We had somebody there teaching everybody how to do various different dances. We had obviously lots of Dawn, but lots of other nations there, lots of marchers there.
Yeah, the marchers were there.
A marcher came to sniff me.
Marchers sniffing you. Yeah. Sniff.
Yeah. like what is that wonderful smell? And it's the perfume that I wear. And I was so close, just being like, soap.
That's soap.
That's soap.
Mr. Marcher.
It was quite funny. And then we did some interesting dances. We did this group dance where it was myself, you, and like a lot of the marchers, and we were like, it became this competition between us. Like,
we started.
We got a bit silly.
Yeah, we got a bit silly. Yeah, I think it was like me and Johnny that were like
you and Johnny just like staring at each other.
We were trying to do the dance move as fast as possible. So it's like in and out, and then like do a couple of kicks, and then spin around or whatever the hell we were doing. But it just became a thing of like, how fast can we do this? You know,
it was like you both started it, and it got to the end, and I think everyone collapsed.
it was a lot, but it was good. It was good fun. And then we did some slow dancing.
Oh, we did like lots of like really lovely like slow dancing, and that was quite nice. Or like Dad was at this bit. This is why he loved the event so much. Like every time
he really enjoyed that.
Every time I turned around, he was with a different girl dancing.
Yeah, no wonder he enjoyed it.
But like he was saying to me during it, and he was like, "Oh," he said, "right," because he knows all these dances, and he was like, "Oh, they're doing this one wrong. Like we need to do it like this and everything." And I was like, "Well, why don't you go up? There's one person." I said, "There's literally one person trying to teach everyone here. Why don't you go speak to her in between the dances and be like, hey, do you want to demonstrate it with me? We can do a demonstration." Because I was like, she'd probably be up for it. And he was like, "Oh, no, I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to take it away from someone else." I was like, "No, but it's LARP. You're not, if you go in and you speak to someone, you're not taking it away from them. You're adding to it. And she probably would like a partner who can do the dance so that she can demonstrate it around. So everybody can be like, oh, that's what we do." And then you get to go and do some fun LARP. But yeah, so we got to like slow dance while unbeknown to us in the background.
Oh yeah, no, the Military Council Part 2 was apparently forming behind me. Yeah, so yeah, we had a few kind of generals come up, and so I actually had another member of Military Council like message me after the fact, being like, "Oh, thanks for like," which it was really cool because they were like, "Thanks for like embodying the Dornish brief so heavily." You know, it's really good. Like, and this person wasn't Dornish. This person was from Highguard, and they were just like, it was really a moment to like watch you two do your dancing, and then we're doing this whole like, they were doing lots of role play around, kind of watching us, talking about true love and things like that, and souls and virtue and things like that. But anyway, finished, and then as I approached these generals, like, right, we're ready to ruin your evening, and I'm like, more than you already have. So yeah, we had a very intense, kind of backwards and forwards, with basically it's a strategy. It was really fucking cool, like because I feel like I unlocked, whether I made the right decision or not. Right? It doesn't matter. Out of game, it doesn't matter, because I felt like I unlocked what this game is, and the company is called Profound Decisions. And I'm like, oh, this is like, I'm actually making, like, I'm going to make literally what I say right now. And it was cool because obviously, like, it wasn't, so it's not the decision I made, it's me and another general that are going off to do it.
Yeah.
And it is a plan made by the entire military council. It's not, I didn't come up with the plan.
Nah.
Right? But we are in charge of our own armies. I had a decision to make. And it was basically put on me, being like, go on then, general, make the call, right? And I got to make a profound decision, you know? Yeah. So even though it was like stressful and this, that, the other, I'm just like, oh, so again, regardless of what people think in or out of character, what decision I made, whether it's the right or wrong choice, I'm like, oh, this is really fucking cool, because I've just made a decision that's going to affect the entire wiki. It's going to affect like the entire campaign map.
Yeah.
That was what was really cool about it. You know, the fact that I was like, no matter what I do here is going to shake things up. Yeah. And I don't have a choice in that. That was the thing, is the fact that I couldn't just be like, actually, I'm just going to be passive. It was the fact that, like, no, you're in the position.
So many of the plans were dependent on what your decision was.
Oh yeah, I just so happened to be in that position as well. It wasn't just a case of, oh, like, save us all, Damon. It was literally just a case of like, oh, right, well, this only works if you're up for it, General. Yeah. And we're playing pretend, obviously, but yeah, it made me feel like I'm in an actual position here, an actual general, where I'm like, I've got to make a decision that's going to cost these lives, which are obviously out of character, don't exist. But I made decision that is going to affect the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
That was cool.
You did it.
Yeah,
and it
was
cool. Really cool. It was a lot of role play. It was very good. It put us all in a very different kind of standing as well. It was just, it was so cool.
So yeah, I made an agreement to so I'm sending my army to Tharunin. It's all on the wiki now. But which means I only say that because then I want to talk about the roleplay I did the following day. So the next day, the battle. Let's get into that.
So this time I was like, I really want to kind of like be part of the field command team. So on the Friday night, the second that military council was over and the field marshals and everything been chosen, I like made like a beeline straight for our field marshal to basically pitch myself and be like, I want to be on your team. And they were wonderful, brought me on the team, and it was so cool being part of that. So it meant this is for the first time in a very long time we didn't fight together.
No.
I barely saw you in that fight.
Yeah.
Apart from when things got really hairy, barely saw you.
Yeah. So, I mean, so one thing I do want to talk about. So one of the cool things they did with this one was one of the objectives. So the Druge have got these like Kraken squid monsters, right, that they want to like release into Zenith, right? But they're eggs at the minute,
Yeah.
right? So we could destroy the eggs, or we could like poison these eggs, right? But that opened up a whole game for the apothecaries in the game. I really, really like that because it meant like as a general, I was like, okay, we need to get people who know how to make these potions and poisons, right, to poison these eggs. So therefore, then that like mixes our game with theirs and be like, hey, like apothecaries, we need this for Sunday.
It was really exciting actually because like the I think some of the poisons that were needed were actually illegal.
They were illegal.
Were they all illegal, or was it just like some of them?
No,
I was
told
just
two of them.
Two of them were illegal.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I know that's going to create more game going forward as well. Because some of them are going to need things like virtue defenses and things going forward. Because it is a whole question of how did they have these?
So I was told it was. Funny enough, I spoke to a few people and went. So it ended up being like two separate groups ended up getting the stuff, but it was great because it was like they got all the stuff together. They got the potions, they got the stuff, because they had to like make them on the field. So you had to have apothecaries that were willing to go out onto the field, do the thing, make the poison. I spoke to several of them. They were like, yeah, we're doing it. We've got the stuff. They're obviously concerned about how they're going to get the stuff. Not one of them said to me, by the way, this one's illegal, until someone else told me during military council, a couple of these are illegal, but they are not, they're illegal for certain purposes. They won't feel the wrath of the militia if they make them on the battlefield. They were told that. So, but then at that point, I was just like, well, no, I don't think anyone's actually worried because literally no one has brought that concern to me.
Yeah, because you brought one of the apothecaries to me in the morning because I was down at the gate first, and they're speaking to them, and they were like, yeah, I've got this one here, this one, and these are the illegal ones. I went, okay. And they walked off. I was like,
cool. Anyway.
Okay. That seems like a future problem. Let's see if we all come back first.
Yeah. So we're fighting against the Druge, which, I enjoy fighting the Druge as a character. I don't know how. I don't usually have. We usually have a bad time when we're fighting the Druge. It went okay. It was one of those where it was like, this could have been so much worse, but it also could have been a lot better. Basically,
it could have been a lot better.
Yeah. So it was a partial success. We poisoned the egg, which I didn't see.
I saw.
So Should I tell my story of the thing first? Because like you said, we were separated. I went round onto like into the left, and then we straight away came up to these tortured souls. So we're back in Zenith. It's like fighting 3 years ago. That's what it just reminded me of. Just like, oh great, we're back in Zenith fighting tortured souls. We have new tortured souls though that are like, they're wily. So I can't remember, there was like things that people have pinpointed how they were different, but I 100% noticed how different they were acting, because they were basically in like a block, right? And so we had we had we didn't have High Guard the Nation with us, but we had a mercenary banner.
Yeah.
With they were like sworn to me, but they were with like Orzel.
Yeah.
So they had a load of exorcists. So we straight away came into contact with this block of tortured souls. So if you've just started listening to the podcast, you know how to deal with them. You have to exorcise them. So you need priests with the exercise skill, but they will fight you basically, and they tend to have cursed weapons as well. So when they stab you, they give you like a curse, like a soul wound or whatever the hell. You don't really want to be tangling with them much. I mean, the best thing to do if you don't have a exorcist around is to literally just chop their legs off and just leave them. Basically, that's what you want to do. However, these ones, they were in a block, so they weren't like, because I've seen it before where they've just been like sat in the gate, or they've been like 2 or 3 like out and about.
They're not organized in any kind of fashion normally. They're a bit more sporadic.
But they usually just attack you and then until they die. These ones weren't engaging; they were just kind of stood there, and then the Druids are walking around. And then when they started kind of getting attacked, they then like moved off, which was what was unusual. So they ended up going away from us further into the tree line, which at this point then I saw the banner for the Tainted Basilisk. So one of the objectives was to kill the ritualists, and they're a part of like the Tainted Basilisk, which is a Druge army. So we need to kill. If we killed them, that meant that it was going to reduce the amount of rituals they could do on their army by 2. It's not none, but by 2.
Yeah.
So a good objective to try and get. Could we get to them? No, like it was like we pushed really hard to get to them, but then the Tortured Souls basically went off behind where the ritualists were, so they literally just saw this banner. Unfortunately, we chased the banner all the way around to the right, at which point we lost it basically. Like apparently it was a bit confusing because we were just like, hang on, they've just taken it out of game, so the banner just kind of disappeared. But I think they ended up in the field, because we were trying to figure out what happened between us. So we then got into, then we kind of hit the Tortured Souls again, because they went all the way around there. At which point we were just kind of holding them, because we were all kind of strung out in a big long line at this point. And then we were like, well, should we engage these Tortured Souls? And by the time we like just kind of figuring out what to do with them, then they just walked away again. They just went, right, we're going to go over to the left again, which was really odd, for the Tortured Souls. And I was like, okay. So at that point, that's when instead of just going all the way back to the left again, that's when I went, okay, I'm going to see what the rest of Dawn is doing. That's when I came down to the right. So what were you doing?
So
you were dying in donuts.
I wasn't really with Dawn at this point. So like I was in the middle with Field Command. So when we came in, I went to the right. They wanted Dawn to go to the right and kind of back up Navarre, because Navarre had made this line right the way around the right, and there's a lot of them, so they extended quite far. And it was at the point they were starting to get a bit pummeled there. And we wanted to, as Dawn, just basically charge in behind, reinforce them, and try and clear up that sort of side. So I came in with Dawn and got a really cool fight to start off with, got to kind of run and just like had this moment where I was running up and I could see this line of Navarre, and they went to take a step back, and I was like, don't step back, Dawn are here. And then I heard like a couple of Navarre being like, Dawn are behind us, let's go. And they started charging forward. Most of Dawn still bloody came, like, hurry up, Dawn. Go. Run. So we went in and got to just completely like have like a really good scrap at the start. And then like very quickly we got everything held. Like all fronts were being held quite well. But there was a lot of people stuck in lines, stuck at both gates. No, they were just stuck at the one gate to begin with. And it was a tricky one to begin with, because at this point, we didn't know where any of the objectives were. So it was a case of, we had a lot of decisions to make on like, okay, do we push out through that gate? Is there anything on the field? And then the decision was, no, let's wait. We're going to hold everything here until we know where the objectives are. It was League that found the egg, and did like a really good job getting the egg and everything sorted. So because we knew that the egg was there and League had that, we kind of needed to not let any of the Druge. We didn't want to risk getting any of the Druge come in while they were poisoning the egg and getting all that done. So like, that was fine and everything. I hate to say this. I think Dawn could have done a wee bit better on this one. I think we were the weaker kind of one in one aspect, not in all aspects, but just over at that right, there was a little bit of a confusion of, are we taking the gate? Right, great, let's take the gate. Took the gate, but weren't ready to do anything with it.
Conviction, yeah.
And then it kind of just got us all stuck there again. So there was a lot of like really good points, a lot of really bad points like throughout that bit. But a lot of what I was doing, which was quite cool, is I was with our field commander and myself and one of the other people in the field command. We were doing a cool thing where we were basically running off out to all different sides and being inspiring, encouraging people, keeping them there, keeping them going, keep motivated, and making sure every single person had information. Because that's something that tends to break down when people start to go, wait, I haven't heard anything from field commander, from a commander in so long, and why are we still here holding this line? And it starts to break down. So we were doing a lot of like running up to different groups, different nations, being like, yeah, you're doing amazing, you know, keep going, keep holding here. We've got this objective now, you're doing great. And just, that was good fun. But then over towards the right, things took a bad turn. So we were holding, like, so where Midgate is. And that started to crumble and get pushed back in. Now, while this was happening, a load of Druge went to Top Gate, right up at the top of the field, and started coming back down. At the exact same time, we got cut off from half of Dawn and League by a load of other Druge. I'm describing a donut because that's what it was. We're there and we started getting crushed more and more and more. And I was like, okay, no, we're in an actual donut. This is not good. And there was a few people that clearly did kind of go a bit like, oh my gosh, we're in a donut. I was like, no, we're not in a donut. And I said it so often. I was like, no, we're not in a donut. This is a plan. Don't worry. Like, okay, what do we do? I was like, we're going to keep holding here. We're going to push. If everybody takes a step forward, let's give ourselves more space. It's fine. I said, the rest of Dawn, I've gone round the side. They're going to hit them from the other side. Yeah. And everyone's like, great. And I'm like, really hope the rest of the Dawn are around the other side. And we like, out of character though, there was part of me, I was like, okay, there has to be an opening here somewhere. They're not going to actually let us all die in here. There must be an opening. Yeah. And I saw the EMU near Top Gate move up slightly and I went, haha, that's our chance. Okay, so got everybody to hold and we're like, we're going to push right up this way. And we pushed up and I was like, right. And you could see through the trees the rest of Dawn. And I just saw, I saw Orem and I saw like a few others and I was like, that's them there. And I shouted towards them because I couldn't get to them. They couldn't get to us. And then we kind of just did this whole screw it. And we just started fighting through the woods towards each other. And as more and more people did that, we just pushed it out completely, got completely rid of that donut. We were all together again. That's when I saw you because I just gotten out of that and I thought, how did we get out of that donut? I have no idea.
I honestly thought you were telling me you were terminal. I honestly, because you came up to me and you looked like really shaken. You were just like, oh, we got in a donut. We had to, but the way you worded it, you were like, we had to lie. I had to lie and tell everyone it was okay, but it's not okay. And I was like, what, are you telling me you're dying? And you're like, no, I'm not dying. I was just like, I was like, oh my God.
It was another scary thing where it's like, I was like, I literally lied to so many people, but just being like, no, we're fine. We're not in a donut. We're coming around. We're okay. We're all fine. It's going to be fine. Yeah. In my head, I was like, this is, if we don't push now, if we don't take the opportunity, then they might just give the order and completely squash everyone in here. Yeah.
But I mean, my assessment is that there was, because what you need is conviction and not just getting really nervous and being like, oh, do we do? So I think especially from what I saw, especially at the Dornish side and the Navarre side, the two biggest nations, basically like I think that there were certain units that were just carrying the rest of the nation.
Yeah, I'd agree with
because
that.
like I saw like 2 or 3 Navari units just going. As soon as they went, there's the enemy, get them. Whoever was in charge, or whoever was saying it, me or whoever was saying these things, they were just like, yeah, go for it. But there was as many kind of like tentative Navari and Dornish in there, which is why honestly I think like half the nations were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And that made it so it wasn't based, because if they weren't, it was just going to be another Sweet Gates. It was just going to be massacre.
That's the thing. It was kind of looking like that. There was a really cool moment though. There was a group of Navarre that were in that donut with us. And I was trying to figure this. I was like, right, there has to be like an opening. I was like, for me to see if there's a way for us to get around through these Druge, at this point we can just see Druge, I'm going to have to step over towards the Druge lines to actually be able to see it. And there was a group of Navarre that were holding that line. They were holding it really well. And I was like, I'm just going to have to do this. I stepped out in front of them and I walked a bit and leant round the tree so I could see. And that's when I realized where everybody else was. And I went, we're way closer than it feels like we're miles apart. We're literally maybe 3 meters from everyone else. We can do that. But as I was doing that, all the people in the Druge line are obviously going over to try and hit me. The group of Navarre around me didn't let a single hit land on me. Like literally, there was somebody that literally put a shield up behind me at one point. Now he's like, I feel like a badass right now. I'm really glad they're keeping me alive, because it worked out. Because then like a seconds later, I came back and I went, right, I know how to get out. I know how we're going to get out of this. And it was good fun.
So the last time with Dawn, the last two, 3, 4 times, probably 4 times, the same thing keeps happening. And it definitely happened this time. We do really, really well the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I brought this up so many times on this podcast, and I'm not an expert on ancient warfare or cavalry, but it is. I played enough video games, and I work with horses as well, but never in that way. But the idea of the cavalry, right? They're great on the first push, and it's kind of is how Dawn seems to work. We go in where like we do really well, and then we run out of steam because we can't. There's no formation for us. We don't go. That's what happens with the cavalry. You go. They go running in. They bulldoze, but then if they're stuck in like woods or they're stuck within the enemy lines, there's no protocol for like, right, let's regroup.
Yeah.
So we're like, great, and then we stop, and then everything basically comes to a halt, and we're like, oh, an enemy, and then we just kind of statically fight.
Yeah.
Or like back up. So it's going to be really interesting next year when we do open field stuff, because there's going to be no woods in the next bit. So it might change things up a bit for Dawn.
I think there's a better way of using Dawn for that, because when you and I both spoke about like with how to get Dawn to fight a bit differently on those fields.
I would split them in 2 and just send them on flanks and just go as far as you can that way, and then as soon as you see the side of the Druge line, just go and just don't stop.
Yeah. Because we've done that before. We've split in 2 and we've charged towards each other, and it is epic because the thing is, when you're fighting like in that line and all you see is Druge, and it can definitely get to the point and it makes you almost step back, especially if you are getting overwhelmed. But if you're fighting and you see flags from your own nation at the other side, it's almost like it feels like you're just cutting through everyone because you're trying to get to your allies.
Yeah, you get momentum. So that's the thing. When we lose momentum, we don't seem to do that well.
Yeah.
So that's in a nutshell. That's what I mean by like, and then we didn't get the ritualist. So we got one objective, not the other. So it could have been way worse. Could have been way better. Whatever. Like we didn't have
a lot of losses.
Not a lot of losses.
There wasn't a lot of losses. Everybody did work really well together. It was great. We had to do like quite a drawn out retreat at the end, but everybody got out. It was absolutely fine. And yeah, I stayed back till the end with one of the other persons. Yeah,
myself.
You did really well. Yeah, myself and him. We just stood there and we waited until everyone had gone. And then as soon as that was all done, we're like, right, okay, let's step back and go through. And it was a really cool ending. The person who was field marshalling was just wonderful. Like they were just so calm, but like in control. It was really cool to be part of that team. I think I'm going to try and push to be part of as many teams as possible.
Yeah. Well, I think some of the more experienced field marshals are still wanting to do the thing, because otherwise it's like, if they're not there, how are we all going to learn from them if they're not actually doing it?
Yeah.
So we kind of want these people to like step up and keep field marshalling.
Keep field marshalling and keep bringing people in their groups, keep
groups, so
them.
that the rest of us can kind of like step up and give it a go, you know. So again, it's gonna change because we know that those woods and those fields that well now. It's gonna be a bit of a confidence shake next year as well because it's gonna be a different layout, and we're gonna be like, oh.
I'm thinking a lot of forts. I'm thinking
there's probably gonna be
there's gonna have to be a fort.
Yeah, we'll see what I imagine it's gonna be palisades at first, probably not complete buildings, but. It's they've got enough space basically to have two different types of battlefield. They can have one on one side and one on the other side. They've got tons of space where they're going, so it's going to be interesting. So we go. Anyway, I come out of the battle, so I was lined up to have a ritual done on me. The ritual is why Suleiman walked away from the baker, because it is it's a anti-venom ritual on an army. So, because I'm going off to fight the Valorn, right?
Why would anyone want to fight the Valorn?
Why would anyone?
Who wants to go and push that button?
I will not abandon Navarre. There we go. That's why. So
you won't find that in his orders, but that's why.
It's there. Read between the lines. It's implied. It's loyalty and shit.
Shit. That's his orders next time. Because of loyalty.
That's pretty much what my orders have been every time, just loyalty and shit. You know, that's why I'm doing it. So the role play effect though on this specific ritual are really bad. So I couldn't get it done before the battle because otherwise I'd just wouldn't have a fight. So straight away, and this is a ritual that not many because it's a winter ritual. Not many winter covens like have this prepared in their coven, so I had to go all the way to Navarre, and because I'm pretty much doing this for Navarre and the whole empire. But Navarre obviously was like, oh yeah, we'll do all get all the stuff. We'll do it all for you. It's fine. Just come up, have the ritual done. So yeah, I got to have another what's one of the real cool things about having this position as well is getting pretty much almost guaranteed a ritual done on you
every time,
every single event, which is really cool. So yeah, this wasn't the one I expected to have done on me. But yeah, it sucked. I mean, roleplay, awesome, great, but the roleplay effect is awful. So it's basically I had to be like inflicted with venom, the venom effect. But the idea is that I have to suffer. So that my army doesn't. So
yeah, it's just cool. It's really cool. Like it's a cool concept. Actually.
So I have like so the people I can't. It's really annoying. So I can't remember the coven name of the coven that did it. So it was Navarre Coven, Winter Coven. The person who was in charge and led the ritual was the first ever Archmage of Winter.
Yeah,
which I was told that in character, and we had a nice bit of role play backwards and forwards. And I basically had a load of runes cut into my hand, and every one was, symbolizing a sacrifice that I was making for my army. So I was going to get no sleep. I was going to feel weak, going to feel old. So
how are you going to role play that?
I was just, what the heck? So yeah, I was going to have a terrible time over the next, few months while I'm campaigning so that my army doesn't get affected as much and they're going to not be venomed. So that was really cool. And then this was coming towards the end of the event as well. So I did that straight away. I'm like, because they were like, we were going to bring it to military council. I'm like, no, I'm going to get it done. Get out of the way. It's done. So then it's back to military council, but I was like, they were like, oh, can you make your way on your arm? I'm like, yep. So I'm like role playing this. At the Imperial Orc Egregore. Like I was selling this role play so much. So I had like Grud come up to me. Grud that smells like pee, right? And he like just dropped character. She's like, you okay? I'm like, no, like I'm role playing. He's like, you bastard. It's just like I thought you were in trouble. It's like, no, I'm just role playing this really crap. I'm just want to make sure everybody knows of the sacrifice I am making for my empire, obviously for my empire. So yeah, from there it was military council. Even at that point, I had people being like wanting to discuss as well, being like, are you sure about this? Like I had a lot of people say, sure, there's the plan, blah, blah, blah. This is what I think about the plan. I'm just like, it's done. It's done. I've talked about it for 10 hours.
It's done.
And I've had the ritual done on me. It's the profound decision has been made. It's done. So then wrote my orders. That was my weekend.
Yeah.
What did you do Sunday afternoon?
I don't know, actually. I think I was with you a lot of it because I was really late through the gate. And then by the time we started then, I kind of like came up to basically hang out with the family and with the group and everything for a little bit.
Yeah.
Saw a few people up and down, double checked casualties. And then I just did a lot of running around just to make sure that we had like, things like the casualty numbers and things like that already for military council, to make sure we were like as organized as possible going into that. But not a huge amount, to be honest. And then by the time we'd done all that and got ready and grabbed all our stuff and just headed down to military council ready for everything that happened in there. We got to have a bit of fun there and everything, got your orders written up. Just before we both went to military council, we had our ritual performed on us on our military units.
Oh, yeah.
In the glory square. So we got to do that so that we can do a bit more with our military units.
Like save me from losing my army. That's awesome.
Save the golden sun.
Like save the golden sun.
So we did that, came down, had our ending in military council, and then I think got to the very last part of the event. And we kind of like ended up heading back up to the house and just had like that sort of lovely bit of role play right at the end of the event where we were all like gathered round together and just,
Yeah. I've got a feeling that we should probably just bring some of our yo folk on the podcast to balance out, fill in the blanks of just like we did meetings LARP, and I know they get up to some like hilarity. And
that could be quite cool to do
stuff.
that for like maybe like our next recap, like do it with one other person from
I think
like
that
the
would be a
house
good idea.
group, and then
because
that could be cool.
I worry just the way our game's going at the minute that it's just going to be a bit stale, being like we did this and we spent the entirety of our game doing one specific thing.
That could be really cool, actually. Bring a different like yo folk on each time to fill in those gaps or to have like another perspective of the game. Could be really good and just show off a little bit more about other things that you can do because our yo folk get up to some crazy stuff. In fact, one of the shenanigans that one of our yo folk did get up to that we did actually miss out, we could actually mention this here on the podcast. And that is when very serious Damon was sitting in military council.
Oh yeah.
And we heard the jingling of bells.
You know what I love about this, right, is the fact that like hardly anyone even batted an eyelid. Really, it was so funny. So our jester, I presented the honourable general with a picture of a manticore, but it was the stupidest like cartoon drawn on like a cardboard that had just had like Banticore on it or something, or Bants, and it was just like
it was the Banticore.
Little.
It was a
little. It's literally in my storage locker right now. I literally still have it. Did they not pay like stupid? I didn't even want to hear it.
It was a lot of IC money was paid for this. And he came in and did a whole like presentation, climbed over people, clambered, tried to make a little bit of a fuss. And I went down on one knee in front of Damon and presented it and went, "My lord." And then Damon like takes it, chucks it behind him. I chuck it over to my dad who's behind there. And then he goes out, and then Dad goes to walk it back to the camp. And then our lovely jester goes, oh no, I'll take that. And then he comes back in, this time making a bit more of a fuss, like, making sure he picks a route that would cause him to climb over everyone in the middle. He does the big jingly walk, comes right over, kneels down in front of Damon, and very loudly goes, "My lord."
At this point, I'm like, okay, I can't just throw it out the back. I can't throw it away again because it's gonna appear here. So I just like sat with it. I was just like, okay, I'll just. I love how nobody said a word. Like everyone just carried on, and just like no one even said, "What is that? What's going on?" They just went, "Okay, this is happening."
Damon's jester. This is something happens.
Damon's jester. It's quite funny. I would definitely want to play around more with that. I think it's a fun bit.
We should use our jester more often in military council. Yeah. I think it's just funny.
Yeah. Any other shenanigans? Not really too much going on. I missed a lot of what like Morrigan was doing. I missed a lot of what Oh, we did. Oh, we did a. We should have mentioned this. We did a really amazing Whispers Through the Black Gate for.
Oh, I didn't see this. Yeah.
You weren't there.
I was sitting on the bench for you.
Yeah. So I'll go back in time. So on the Friday night, we did a Whispers Through the Black Gate for the previous general of the Lions of Anamar, who was a long-time adjutant in the Marches and in Dawn. So a lot of people. So obviously all the Dawnist generals knew her, and all the Marcher generals knew her. So it was quite funny. On Friday, literally, as soon as Military Council was in session, we had someone come up. I think it probably was Hoops or someone was just like, the Whispers is starting, and literally like 6 or 7 generals like stood up, and all our adjutants just jumped in, and we just went off to the Whispers because we were just like, oh, family's more important, basically. You know, so that was a really, really cool one. Apart from that though, I think that's all the shenanigans I can remember.
Apart from me telling you off in the Orzel tent.
Oh yeah, you did.
That was quite funny.
Yeah, nighttime.
So we were like sitting around the fire.
Well, I missed Marshmallow LARP.
Yeah, you did. So we're sitting around the fire, and we've like, you head off somewhere for a bit, and I was like, make sure you come straight back here, right?
I was going for a pee.
Yeah, you went for a pee.
Because I came back and there was like
right back here.
I was like, is there marshmallows and popcorn? And they were like, you missed it. It was early. I was like, oh. And then you're like, oh, we'll start the fire again and we'll make them again.
So we start the fire. We get the popcorn out. We make a load of popcorn. We get some marshmallows and stuff. Get it all ready. And I'm like, where is he? And enough time passed. And I was like, I bet he's in blooming Orzel tent. Right. I walk up there, and I literally walk up to Orzel. You're sitting there. And I was like, I come right up behind you. It's like...
Where are you? What is this?
What is this? You said you were going to be back, and then all of the Orzels are like, it was our fault. Don't you stick up for him. No. And they're like, do you want to come and sit with us and have a drink? Yes, I do. I'm off to get the family. Yeah. I walked off, and I brought the fire. I was like, right, all of Mortar, we're going to Orzel's for the rest of the night. It's family night. Come on.
Yeah.
So I brought the whole of Mortar over there, and then we all just like squished on the benches together. Yeah. And so we're all intertwined, which is cool because we're meant to all be like family anyway. We all like intertwined together, and had a fun little evening. Stayed there till like quite late actually.
Quite late, yeah. No, it's late nights. I mean,
late night, and then we went back to the house tent afterwards and finished our night there with like Fark and everyone.
Yeah, good times. Cool. I mean, that's E3. Next event, E4 is the last event at that site. So I expect it's going to be a busy one because I know there's a lot of people that literally gave Empire a miss this year and have just done Menhirs that said to me last weekend, they're like, oh, I'm coming to E4 because it's like the last one at Dadford, just to give that site, a send off. So yeah, we'll...
Also, this is going to be like a case of like, kind of more like OC this one, but I know they need to completely demolish everything this time.
Yeah.
I think they are looking for people who want to volunteer and help, especially like I know that the Imperial Orcs put out a few things and stuff. People who want to actually help dismantle, because there's a lot of permanent structures that have been put up there, especially through like the woods. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the Imperial Orcs, they've got like their fighting pit and everything that's there that needs to be taken down. So I think they are definitely all looking for anybody who wants to hang around and help, Yeah. Great.
Cool.
Awesome. Right. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you give us a like, follow, subscribe. Let us know down in the comments if you came to the previous Empire, if you want to come to the next Empire, if you want to come to any Empire. We do actually have a referral code that gives you 15 pounds off your first 15 pounds off your first Empire LARP ticket if you want to give it a go. That also gives us a bit of a kickback as well. So the code is down in the description of the YouTube video and in the show notes of the audible of the audio episode as well. Check out all the Patreon, all that cool stuff. And with that, we will be back at you with our Menhirs Fate 3 recap soon. So, we love you very much, everyone. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.